Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto non-Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायशव भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, शिला गुरुदेव महाविष्णु गोसाई महाराज की जय, भगवत गीता जी टीच की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम पुराण की जय, श्री ईशोपनिषद की जय। टैगोर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। जय। Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I just want to let know that this program is intermediate level program. So only the intermediate devotees should be attending the program. So I think Prabhuji is here. Varun Vyas Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. So our normal programs will start from 10:30. Yes, Prabhuji. So yeah, this program is only for the intermediate class. Thank you. So yes, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So thank you very much. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Her Grace Purna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for giving me this chance and to share my realization on Shri Isopanishad. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this opportunity. Hare Krishna. So we are on, we studying Shri Isopanishad Mantra 5. And hold on, I'll just see if I can share my screens as well. So yes. So what we'll do, we'll recite the mantra again 3 times each devotees, and then we'll carry on where we left from last week. Okay. Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu, please, if you can allow me to, so I can share my screen. Okay. So Prabhuji might be busy, but do you have Shri Isopanishad with you? Yes? Okay. So I'll recite the first and then we'll do one by one. Tade jati tane jati तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः तदेजति तनैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः तदेजति तनैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः. Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Divanshi Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
We can start with you. Yep.
Tad ejati tanejati taddure tadvantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bhayataha. Should I repeat 3 times also, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Tad ejati tanejati taddure tadvantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bhayataha. तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः.
Very nice. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
तदेजति तनैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः तदेजति तनैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः तदेजति तनैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः.
Very nice. Thank you. So, Hare Krishna Path Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Can you
Yes.
see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes. So,
I'll sing, Prabhu.
we're going to recite the verse.
Yes,
Time.
yes. Yes, Prabhu. Tade jati tanne jati taddure tadvantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasya bahyatah tade jati tanne jati taddure tadvantike तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः तदेजति तन्नेजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्य बाह्यतः.
Yes, Prabhuji. It's a sarvasyasya.
Sorry,
Bhahyata.
सर्वस्यास्य.
Yes. Yes. Very nice. Okay. Is anybody else wants to recite? All right. So the translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. So here is a lot of contradictions in this verse, and we reading Srila Prabhupada's purport and different points we're discussing. So we start where we left from, but before that, we sort of just quickly revise what we studied in previous class. So previously we covered like basically 4 points, like Lord is, because there is inconceivable potencies of the Lord, and then we discussed the Achinta Bheda Bhed philosophy, where Lord is simultaneously one and different from the energies. And then we discussed the Lord is omnipotent, omnipresent, and he can convert any energy to any, material to spiritual, And then we discussed about Archa Vigraha form of the Lord, deity form. So basically, yeah, these 4 points we discussed. And now we're going to discuss further what Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. So I just want a volunteer to read it. Hold on, I'll share it. So who's there?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yeah, you can, Mataji, if you want. Yep.
In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 11, the Lord says that how he treats his devotee depends on the devotee's degree of surrender. The Lord reserves the right not to reveal himself to anyone and everyone, but to show himself only to those souls who surrender unto him. Thus, for the surrendered soul, he is always within reach, whereas for the unsurrendered soul, he is far, far away and cannot be approached.
Yes. So here, Srila Prabhupada is, the main point is explaining here that for the surrendered soul, he's very near, but who's not surrendered is very, very far away, far, far away. So, and there is a example or the reference given here, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 11. So let's see that verse first. And yeah. So the verse says, Ye yatha mam prapadante tamas tatheva bhajamyaham mam vartamanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashaha. Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Of all of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pratha. So here, Lord Krishna is saying that he rewards accordingly, according to the surrender. And in purport, there is a, so I just want to read few lines of the purport. Srila Prabhupada is saying, everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestation. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahmajyoti, effulgence, and as the all-pervading super soul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is only fully realized by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization. And thus, anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. So, yes, so here, so Krishna is the object of everyone's realization. So how is this? How we can understand this? As explained by Srila Prabhupada here, that someone wants to merge into Brahmajyoti, like as impersonalists. So Krishna reveal his bodily effulgence. If he practice the path of impersonal realization, ultimately Brahmajyoti is Krishna's body's effulgence, right? So according to impersonalist surrender, Krishna reward him that much. And if you go further, like the yogis, so they want to realize localized Paramatma, that is also Krishna, but in the form of Paramatma, Paramatma, super soul. So in every atom, so Krishna reward them also accordingly. And now devotees of the Lord, because they want to revive their relationship with the Lord in different rasas. So there is also a reward for devotees, and Krishna rewarding them according to their surrender in bhakti. Because in devotional service, as we follow, so Krishna reward everyone according to their surrender. So if you are fully surrendered, like 100% depend on Krishna, then Krishna will take in charge of your life. But if we hold back and surrender partially, then Krishna will reveal only that much. Now, what about fruity workers or karmis? Because yes, ultimately Krishna provides everything, and he maintains everyone. So whatever they are getting through demigods, that is also sanctioned by Krishna. And karmis are also called hrit jnana, means their intelligence is stolen by material desires. So one should be udahadihi, is called broad-mindedness. Because as we looked at this verse from Bhagavad Gita 4.11, in this verse, Srila Prabhupada gives the example or the reference of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, verse 10. We'll have a look on that. So this one is explaining more about udharadihi, like broad-mindedness. So this verse saying, akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradihi tivrena bhakti yogena jajet purusham param. Translation: a person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead. So broad-minded person comes to Krishna for everything. Here the first word is akama. What's the akama means? Akama means is that is no material desire. Here Srila Prabhupada are explaining about akama. The desireless means therefore not to be inert like a stone. Akama doesn't mean like a stone, like, oh, I don't have any desire. We can't be. But to be conscious of one's actual position and thus desire satisfaction only from the Supreme Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained his desirelessness as bhajaniya parama purusha sukha matra swa sukhatvam in his sandarbha. This means that one should feel happy only by experiencing the happiness of Supreme Lord. This intuition of the living being is sometimes manifested even during the conditioned stage of living being in the material world, and such intuition is expressed in manner of altruism, philanthropy, socialism, communism, etc., by the undeveloped minds of less intelligent persons. In the mundane field, such an outlook of doing good to others in the form of society, community, family, country of humanity is a partial manifestation of the same original feeling in which a pure living entity feels happiness. By the happiness of Supreme Lord. Such superb feelings were exhibited by the damsels of Vrajabhumi for the happiness of the Lord. The gopis loved the Lord without any return. And this is the perfect exhibition of akamaha spirit. Kamaha spirit, or the desire for one's own satisfaction, is fully exhibited in the material world, whereas the spirit of akamaha is fully exhibited in the spiritual world. So this kama, kama is when we have a desire to satisfy ourselves. So, but the broad-minded person knows this, that akama, without desires, or this sarva kama, or all the material desires, or moksha kama, or the desire for liberation. All these can be achieved only by tivrena bhakti yogena, means devotional service with greater force. So because ultimately everything is sanctioned by Krishna, everything, because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, so he is the Godhead. So akama doesn't mean to be inert like a stone, but to be conscious of one's actual position and thus desire to satisfy only from the supreme Lord. So what is our actual position? This is explained like as a constitutional position. So once we know that our actual position, then we become broad-minded and understand why people feel happy by serving all the social services. Because as Srila Prabhupada said, that it is a partial manifestation of the original feeling of happiness. Some people are doing good to others. They say doing good to others, doing altruism, opening hospitals, or they all good deeds, they all pious activities. But as Srila Prabhupada said, that they are the partial manifestation of the original feeling of happiness. The original feeling of happiness is what? The gopis, or the uh, habitants of Vrindavan, that's their feeling, the original feeling. And because it's as Srila Prabhupada said, that undeveloped intelligence of people, they do those sort of work and they find happiness in them. It's only a partial. So this is akama, when we don't have a material desire. And now the broad-mindedness, what's the broad-mindedness? There is a word came in this verse, it's called udaradihi, udaradihi, this one, with the broader intelligence. So when we see in the last paragraph, here Srila Prabhupada said, udaradihi means one who has a broader outlook. People with desires for material enjoyment worship small demigods, and such intelligence is condemned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 verse 20 as Hrit Jnana, the intelligence of one who has lost his senses. One cannot obtain any result from demigods without getting sanctioned from the Supreme Lord. So here we can see that Srila Prabhupada also saying everything has to be sanctioned by Supreme Lord. Demigods cannot, they provide results. Yes, people do demigod worship, but it has to be sanctioned by the Lord. Therefore, a person with a broader outlook can see that the ultimate authority is the Lord. Even for material benefits, under the circumstances, one with a broader outlook, even the desire for material enjoyment or for liberation should take to the worship of Lord directly. And everyone, whether an akama or sakama or mokshkama, should worship the Lord with great expedience. This implies that bhakti yoga may be perfectly administered without any mixture of karma and jnana. Karma and jnana. As the unmixed sun ray is very forceful and is therefore called tivra. Similarly, unmixed bhakti yoga of hearing and chanting and etc. may be performed by one and all regardless of inner motive. So Udaradihi, explained here by Srila Prabhupada, broader outlook is needed. So this is Isavasham principle as well. That's what we studied like previous verses, because everything belongs to the ultimate proprietor is Krishna. And without his sanction, nothing will be achieved. In the end, Srila Prabhupada gives this example of sun rays. When we use magnifying glass, you must have used when we are kids, when we have magnifying glass, all the sun rays, they concentrated into one place and it burns. So this sun rays, this magnifying glass in the sun rays, so it becomes very intense and burns everything immediately. So this is tivra. So when we start following devotional service, for whatever reason, our anarthas getting purified. But we need to increase intensity for tivra result. So bhakti yoga to be performed by everyone. Either somebody wants a material desire, he should be going to Krishna rather than demigod. There are four kinds of pious person. We see that in Bhagavad Gita, who wants any material benefits, or who are scared out of fear, or who is jigyasu, means inquirer, and who is the yogis or mahapurush. So these four pious people, they are called pious people, and they go to Krishna for everything. So they are broad-minded. So this is a broad-mindedness that's required. So coming back to the purport, that it is said that for surrendered soul, he is always within and within the reach, and whereas unsurrendered, or who is not surrendered, is very far away. So this is the angle of understanding this within and far away. So yes, so we clear this point here. Is any question or any clarification needed so far? No? Okay. Yes.
In this connection, two words, the revealed scriptures often apply to the Lord. Sagun with qualities and Nirgun without qualities are very important. The word Sagun does not imply that when the Lord appears with perceivable qualities, he must take on a material form and be subject to the laws of the material nature. For him, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energies because he is the source of all energies. As the controller of all energies, he cannot at any time be under their influence as we are. The material energy works according to his direction. Therefore, he can use that energy for his purposes without ever being influenced by any of the qualities of that energy. In this sense, he is nirgun, without qualities. Nor does the Lord become a formless entity at any time, for ultimately he is the eternal form, the primeval Lord. His impersonal aspect, or Brahman effulgence, is but the glow of his personal rays, just as the sun's rays are the glow of the sun god.
Yes. So here the two words comes Saguna and Nirguna. Saguna and Nirguna. Nirguna. Now you heard this, maybe you have heard this word a lot of time, Nirguna, Nirakar, So Nirgun doesn't mean without qualities. People take it, Nirgun means like impersonal. But here, Srila Prabhupada are explaining that Nirgun doesn't mean it's without the qualities or impersonal. And Sagun doesn't mean that material qualities, both, both the same thing. So under like some people say Sagun means under the influence of material energy. But material energy always works under the direction of the Lord. Because material or spiritual, both are Lord's energies. He is the proprietor. So he can use them according to his will. Actually, we try to bring down the Supreme Lord to our level or material level. With people in different philosophy, they think that, oh, God can only do certain things. This thing he can do, he can't do these things. If he has to come into the material world, he has to come under the influence of Maya or this material body. But that doesn't mean how come then he'll be a God? How come he'll be supreme if he has to come under the Maya or material energy? So Supreme Lord is, no matter what condition, no matter what circumstances or which place, material world or spiritual world, he remains the supreme. He remains the supreme personality of Godhead. Doesn't change. So we discussed that. That's why he's called Achyuta. So energy cannot overpower energetic. It's always because he's the owner of energies. And this example we can see in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 10, where Krishna is saying that the material energy is working under my superintendence, maya dhakshena prakriti. So we'll see that quickly. Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetu nane na konteya jagadvi parvartate. Translation: this material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So this material energy is working under the direction of the Supreme Lord. It's clearly said in here. And Srila Prabhupada gives an example. So this example is given in the Smriti when there is a fragrant flower before someone. The fragrance is touched by the smelling power of the person. Yet, the smelling and the flower are detached from one another. There is a similar connection between the material world and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, he has nothing to do with this material world, but he creates by his glance and ordains. In summary, material nature without the superintendence of Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot do anything. Yet the Supreme Personality is detached from the material activities. So this material nature is working under the guidance, under the direction of the Lord. Yet Supreme Lord has nothing to do with the material things. It's managed by the material energy, but under the direction. Direction comes, sanction comes from the Lord. So Lord is directing, but he is detached from material activities. Material gunas or qualities cannot influence the Lord, as he is above the material qualities, transcendental. So he is nirguna without the influence of material gunas. So this saguna and nirguna. So we understand these two things, right? Because it's a lot of misunderstandings regarding these words. They used in different context about the Supreme Lord, that Lord is nirguna, that he is impersonal, but it's not. In reality, it's not the truth. So, hold on. Yeah. Now we can read the next para. Yes, Mataji.
When the child Saint Prahlad Maharaj was in the presence of his atheist father, his father asked him, "Where is your God?" When Prahlad replied that God resides everywhere, the father angrily asked whether his God was within one of the pillars of the palace, and the child said yes. At once the atheist king shattered the pillar in front of him to pieces, and the Lord instantly appeared as Narsimha, the half-man, half-lion incarnation, and killed the atheist king. Thus the Lord is within everything, and he creates everything by his different energies. Through his inconceivable powers, he can appear at any place in order to favor his sincere devotee. Lord Narsimha appeared from within the pillar, not by the order of the atheist king, but by the wish of his.
Hare Krishna. I think Mataji has disconnected.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry, my laptop ran out of battery. It's switched off. I am
Okay.
joining from the phone. I'll just start reading, sorry.
Can you see that? Yeah.
Yes, I can see, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, at once, the atheist king shattered the pillar in front of him to pieces, and the Lord instantly appeared as Narasimha, the half man, half lion incarnation, and killed the atheist king. Thus, the Lord is within everything, and he creates everything by his different energies. Through his inconceivable powers, he can appear at any place in order to favor his sincere devotees. Lord Narasimha appeared from within the pillar, not by the order of the atheist king, but by the wish of his devotee Prahlad. An atheist cannot order the Lord to appear, but the Lord will appear anywhere and everywhere to show mercy to his devotee. The, the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 8, similarly states that the Lord appears in order to vanquish non believers and protect believers. Of course, the Lord has sufficient energies and agents who can vanquish atheists, but it pleases him to personally favor a devotee. Therefore, he descends as an incarnation. Actually, he descends only to favor his devotees and not for any other purpose.
Yes. So here, yeah, the main point is that in this para that Lord is omnipresent. So he can manifest from anything, or he is within everything. Yet he is outside of everything. This is the verse here. Tad antara asya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyatah. So the reference given here is chapter 4, verse 8. That is very famous verse, and we have came across or studied that before also. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. In order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. So Lord is clearly saying here to deliver the pious. That's the first thing. That's the first purpose. So Lord is saying first paritranaya sadhunam, to deliver the pious. So his primary reason to come is to please his devotees, and annihilation of miscreants happens simultaneously. So to prove this fact, which said by his pure devotee Prahlad Maharaj, he appeared from a stone pillar. So Lord is omniscient and always favors his devotees. So he doesn't require a womb, or he doesn't require a certain arrangement where he, like human beings or any other species, they take birth. No, because Lord is omniscient and he is everywhere. He's within everything and he's outside of everything. This is the verse, the mantra. So he doesn't require sort of the same laws or same material laws doesn't apply to him. So he can appear anytime, anywhere, from anywhere, like anything, like stone pillar. So Lord is everything and outside of also. This is confirmed right now. So hold on. So here it's only last two paras left. So let's read this and then we can discuss the main points. Yes.
In the Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 35, it is said that Govinda, the primeval Lord, enters everything by his plenary portion. He enters the universe as well as all the atoms of the universe. He is outside in his Virat form, and he is within everything as Antaryami. As Antaryami, he witnesses everything that is going on, and he awards us the results of our actions as karma phal. We ourselves may forget what we have done in previous lives, but because the Lord witnesses our actions, the results of our actions are always there, and we have to undergo the reactions nonetheless. The fact is that there is nothing but God within and without. Everything is a manifestation of his different energies, like the heat and light emanating from a fire. And in this way, There is a oneness among his diverse energies. Although there is oneness, however, the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entities.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, yes, in the last two paras, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the Antaryami form of the Lord. Antaryami, Antar means inside, Yami means he's witnessing everything. So he's Antaryami. So he's now there is a reference of Brahma Samhita given here by Srila Prabhupada. So in there also in that verse is explained that Lord is inside of atom, a very atom of this universe. He's everywhere. He's entered in all the universes, and let's see that verse first, and then we'll discuss. Brahma Samhita. एको अपि असौ रचितुं जगदण्डकोटिं यच्चक्तिरस्ति जगदण्ड क्षयायदन्तः अण्डान्तरस्थ परमाणु क्षयान्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. एको अपि asau rachitum jagadanda. So this jagat, it is like a anda. Anda means egg. So translation by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. So he is within the atom and outside. So he's everywhere. So this verse talks about that he's in the Parmanu. Parmanu means atom, very small unit of this material energy. So yeah, Lord, and then Srila Prabhupada explained Lord as Antaryami. Means he is residing inside us and he's witnessing what we are doing. We cannot escape from Paramatma. Actually, there is no existence of us without the Paramatma in this material world. Because when living entities or we come here, Paramatma accompany us. So without Paramatma, we cannot. Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, says quote that it's the Paramatma who wakes up in the morning. If he doesn't wake up, we won't get up. So his Paramatma is always accompanying us, and he's always seeing what we're doing. There is actually because our own self, we cannot survive in this material world. And there is a verse from different Upanishad. It's in the purport of Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 22, where Srila Prabhupada gives that reference, where he's explaining the analogy that in one tree there are two birds sitting. One is Atma, one is Paramatma, and the one bird is eating the fruits. And let's see that verse, because that is very relevant. So in here, Srila Prabhupada gives that the reference from Mundaka Upanishad, Canto 3, chapter 1, verse 2, and Shvetashvatara Upanishad, chapter 4, verse 7. They both Upanishads quote this verse. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagno anishya sochati muhyamanaha जुष्टं यदा पश्यति अन्यम् इसम् अस्य महिमानम् iti वीतशोकः. Translation: although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend, the Lord, and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxieties. So, yes, so here this is confirmed that one bird is acting and he is enjoying or suffering the fruits of the branches, and the other bird is witnessing. So Paramatma never leave us. Srila Prabhupada says that one who demoniac has no knowledge of these Vedic scriptures, and then one doesn't have that faith. So one, he doesn't know the scriptures. Second, he doesn't have the faith. That's why they are demoniac. So therefore, he feels free to do anything for sense enjoyment, regardless of the consequences. This is a animalistic, um, what you call, an animalistic way, you know, that we are free. We can do anything, you know, we can do anything and everything. So we can see people nowadays wants to be independent, and they think that they are free to do anything and everything. But in reality, we are always dependent on Krishna, and he is witnessing as an antaryami inside us, and whatever we are doing, so he will give us the results for our actions. So a devotee of the Lord knows always that Lord is omnipresent and by his inconceivable energies. So he is present everywhere. So a devotee of the Lord knows that, but demonic person, they think that they are independent. But with the material nature, uh, either by the diseases or by the um, natural calamities or war or something like that, the material nature controls the living entities, and all those living entities who thinks they are independent, they have to suffer, then they have to restrict themselves in that way. If we don't practice the what you call, if we don't practice restrictions, you know, we don't practice by regulative, we don't follow regulative principles, then nature has its own ways to force us, that is by force. Srila Prabhupada says that in a Perfect Question, Perfect Answer book, that by force is not a good thing. When we do by our choice, that is good. That is what we will get progress towards spirituality. By force is by nature. Everyone has to suffer then. So yes, so this is the end of this mantra. So I'll quickly read that again. तदेजति तनैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He's far away, but he's very near as well. He's within everything, and yet he's outside of everything. So, yeah, so by face of it, it looks very contradictory, but the way Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport, we can understand the inconceivable energies of the Lord, how he does all this, how these contradictions are there. So is any questions or any clarification needed from today's class, or those last points? Please, you can ask. No? Okay. Yes. So then we'll conclude today this mantra 5. And if any questions or any inquiries needed, so you can post that in our intermediate group by Wednesday. And if you don't get any questions, then we will start automatically the next mantra. Right? Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki, Jai Shila Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu. I think Prabhuji might be away. Okay, so we'll wait for 5 minutes until the next class will start. So I'll see if I can discontinue from YouTube, but it doesn't seem like there is option there. But we'll come back after 5 minutes anyway for next class. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna, Sanjeev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Babuji, I can't disconnect the from YouTube.
Okay, just 1 second.
Yes.